Here comes the bride. Weddings can be quite a production if you've ever planned or been part of the big day. Maybe you're planning one right now. You know there's a ton of work to be done before anyone gets to walk down the aisle. Kimberly Vaughn from the International Wedding Festival is here now to talk about tying the knot and how maybe it's changed because of COVID. And you've got a great idea on how people can kind of knock out everything on their to-do list. Hey, Kimberly.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
Yes. So when we talk about planning for a wedding, I mean, I can imagine it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of things to do. How far in advance should couples start thinking about their big day and planning it, putting it together?
Well, typically couples have spent about a year of their engagement time planning for their wedding. Unfortunately, with COVID and the pandemic, our engaged couples have experienced so many different changes that some couples are, making that decision to let's just scale it down. We'll do something outdoors. Micro and mini weddings that we saw prior to the pandemic seem to be on the rise. But then you have other couples who really want to have the wedding of their dreams and they're willing to push those dates out to have that. So they're looking at longer engagement times to really counterbalance what's happening in our industry and what we're seeing, which is a difficult time not only for couples planning their wedding with these changes, but also for wedding professionals. Our industry has seen more demand than it ever has historically. There's this pent-up demand of couples who had their wedding date and then have had to push it out, plus our newly engaged couples. And we want to say congratulations to them.
Now, what advice, what resources can you offer to couples to make it easier?
Well, there's some great tools out there. Obviously, you've got great large companies like The Knot and websites that have great planning tools in terms of planning your budget and getting some of your wedding professionals together. But, one of my favorite things to share with couples is to start heading to wedding festivals and expos. These are great places to go and meet with wedding professionals one-on-one and get those questions answered. We know that the marketplace is very different right now in terms of how to plan a wedding, and the wedding industry in itself has just completely pivoted and transformed how they are helping engaged couples. So, this is a great time to just come and see all these changes, see the new technologies that are out here, virtual options, and how these wedding professionals are helping couples go from season to season. So, if you think about it, a bride, even just purchasing a dress, might be looking at a spring wedding as her original date and then moving to a winter or a fall date that might change the nuances of her style or of her dress. So, we've got wedding professionals that are out there to help them with that. Maybe it's attached sleeves or an attached train that transforms that springtime look into more of a winter look without requiring the couple to go out and purchase a whole new wardrobe. So, there's just all these different little nuances out there. Contracts are different, deposits are different. This is a great time to, get those questions answered, see the latest trends, and I think it's the best way to go.
Well, you're with the International Wedding Festival, so talk specifically about that. What are people going to find there? What can they expect? And why is it a good idea for couples who are planning a wedding?
So the International Wedding Festival is just all things wedding and under one roof. So, you don't have to drive around and meet with various providers. They're all under one roof. We've got fashions, so you can see the latest trends and talk with the providers just about the things that we were talking about in terms of those fashions and dresses. But also there's tastings and you can compare products and services and bring your mom, bring your friends, bring your fiance, of course, and plan on just having a great day. That's all about you. That's all about your planning.
And is this happening locally in Northern California?
Yes, so we produce about 20 live events a year. Our next upcoming events are in Modesto at the Modesto Center Plaza. We'll be there on September 12th, next Sunday. And then just 2 weeks later, we'll be in Elk Grove at Bradley Ranch Winery. It's a very different kind of show. So in Modesto, it's more of a, inside expo type event, and at Bradley Ranch winery, we are excited because it's an outdoor venue. There's 50 acres of space to play with. We're going to do axe throwing and wine tasting, and I think
Oh.
there's cornhole planned as well. And live entertainment. It's just, truly a festival experience in terms of weddings.
All right, a lot of fun, and you can get started planning a wedding too. Kimberly, thanks so much for sharing that with us. I'm going to let our audience know you can get more about their events at internationalweddingfestival.com.